that all who are a part of it may learn the true nobility of manhood and womanhood. Grant us growth in understanding and increasing devotion to righteousness. In thy name we pray. Amen.
We have the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The American Creed is next. I believe in the
United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the government, democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies.
Salute to the South American. I
Salute the flag of South Carolina and pledge to the Palmetto State love, loyalty, and faith.
You may be seated. Because we had our program in October, we were not able to do the minutes, to have the minutes confirmed. So we have September as well as October. So September minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections to those minutes? Somebody make a place to accept those minutes for September?
So moved.
October. Any corrections or additions to those minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes.
I'm sorry?
I move we make the motion to accept the minutes.
Second. Thank you. New business. Do you have any new business?
Like that red.
I'm sorry.
Everyone will like that red.
Would you read it, please? Just read it.
Oh, read it, okay. Sorry. I can't understand people that. I'm sorry. Okay, I will read it. Dear members, what a pleasant surprise it has been, and an honor and privilege to have been a member of the Trenton chapter in SCAR for 50 years. Thank you for the beautifully framed certificate and beautiful 50-year pin. I will cherish them forever, as well as your friendship. My love to you all, Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn.
If there's anybody wants to look at my pen, and I want to tell Connie she's bringing the certificate beautifully.
Julia? I'm just wondering if we should read the, email from, Missy Lowry, who is the librarian, and thank for the book. It's right here,
Okay,
and down on the next page.
okay. Dear Missy. Thank you.
Oh. That's me. This is what she did. This is what she did.
Okay.
I replied.
You're excited. Please let me congratulate your chapter on the publication of Our Beginnings, a tribute to the founding members of Trenton Chapter National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution. Our SCDAR Regent, Bonnie Bell Moffitt, shared it with us at the board management meeting today. She has asked if it could be proposed as a donation to the NSDAR library. I have prepared a submission form and will send it. But I want to ask first if you had already done so. If not, I can send it and donate the copy Regent Moffett received from the chapter. It's a wonderful book. You might give consideration to making a similar donation to the Camden Archives as well. Please let me know if you would like to do so, and I will help coordinate the donation of the archivist there.
Which is that first part that I thought was pretty nice. You read it. You read it.
Any comments on that? I think some of that has already been done.
Okay, yeah, we've submitted the application, and then once it's approved, we'll submit the book.
Okay, we have some, issue. Shannon's not here, is she? No, she's not. Okay. I will read the President General's message for November. It's a shortened version. Our National Society is at a crossroads as we exit the pandemic and reinvigorate our members in support of our enduring mission. I am deeply grateful to all of you who served as chapter leaders during the cloudy days, and now I ask you to join me in bringing our important work back into the sunshine. Let us support our active duty service personnel, return to inspiring a love of history in local students, and again recognize those outstanding neighbors deserving of our appreciation. Rise up in service and shine a light on the good works of VAR. Such actions and outreach have never been more important to our future as a society of women united in service to our nation. Ken, you have a report for us?
I have a little article, it's a summary of an article that was in the Smithsonian, I'm sorry, so you can understand it. There's a new center that opened in Oklahoma City. It's called the New First Americans Museum. It is the largest single building tribal cultural center in the country, honoring Oklahoma's 39 tribal nations and housing the National Native American Hall of Fame. The museum opened in September after 3 decades of planning. The First Americans Museum is a tribute to the state's tribal nations, begins before you even walk through the doors. It's the shape of 2 particular circles that intersect. The museum grounds function as a huge cosmological clock, tracking the seasons by showing the movement of the sun across the circles and highlighting the equinox. The museum buildings make up 1 circle, and an enormous mound made of 500,000 cubic yards of dirt forms the other. The circle and the spiral shapes hold symbolic meaning in the first Americans' spirituality, and it was the utmost importance to include them in the design. According to Anthony Blatt, principal of the Holmbeck Blatt Architects, which work with the museum, which designed with the design architect Johnson Fane. There is no end because time is circular in Native cultures, much like the continuous rising and setting of the sun. Right angles are not an aesthetic for many of the tribes here in Oklahoma. In our beliefs, if you have a right angle, spirits get trapped in there and it causes an imbalance. So all the dwellings are round. Overall, the FAM has 3 main exhibit galleries, 2 theaters, 2 restaurants, focusing on native food. The collection explores the authentic history of the first Americans, their contributions to society, and the cultural diversity among the 39 tribes in Oklahoma. The Native the National Native American Hall of Fame will move to the museum site in the future from its current location in Montana.
Thank you. Linda Caldwell, you have National Independence.
Veterans Day on November 11th is an official federal holiday that honors those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. Back to you. Originally, the day was celebrated as Armistice Day or Remembrance Day to remember and honor all those in the military who had died in what was then called the Great War, later World War I. The armistice that formally ended major hostilities went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. The Armistice Day, on that day, the Armistice Day was observed on the first anniversary of that day. At the end of World War II, veteran Raymond Weeks of Alabama led a delegation to General Dwight D. Eisenhower to expand Armistice Day to celebrate all veterans, not only those who had died in World War I. Ike liked the idea, and 9 years later, as President Eisenhower, he signed into law a bill designating Armistice Day to celebrate all veterans. Within a week, and that is a major accomplishment, Congress amended the act, replacing armistice with veterans, and it has remained Veterans Day with no apostrophe since. Wearing red every Friday to remember everyone deployed will help raise awareness and appreciation for American veterans.
Thank you. Holly?
Okay, the treasurer's report, our beginning balance was $8,930.84. We have dispersed, now this has been 2 months, but this is not a normal 2 months. $9,799.17 was paid out. Deposits of $7,544, the ending balance of $6675.67, and that does include our dues have been paid on that, so we have that amount left. So we're doing well with the purchase of the book and things coming in, but we do have funds to go out if that are, when you pay your dues, you designate amounts that you would like to be sent out to different organizations. I accumulate those. So consequently, we have $2,414 that come in that will go out, but as you see, I'm gonna designate that with time, because that's 2022, even though some has been spent at this time. But I keep an eye on that and make sure that our funds are dispersed the way we collected, so.
Thank you. Thank you for the report. Susan? Susan's giving the registrar's report.
Yes. Madam Regent, we currently, right now, have got 5 prospective members. All of them have been contacted. 2 we're not getting any response from. So a lot of these are from members that have said, I've got a girlfriend, or I met somebody that wants to join, and I've contacted them, but they haven't responded. One of them has started to respond, and now she's gone mute, and 2 we are actively working on. And one of those that we're actively working on is Cynthia right here, and Clay is working on her application. So the other one is Connie, and Frederica, one we have the charter framed, is asked Connie if she'd like to join. And I'm sad, I just gotta say, Connie and I have been friends for years, and I never thought to even ask her. We talk genealogy a lot. So just ask people, you guys, you never know. We also have 2 pending members. We've got one that's got AIR, so we're responding with National as far as answering questions. That one's actually had 2 AIRs, so we've turned it over to the task force, and they're working on it. And then Lori Mortali, and she is here today. She came to the festivities in October, but is this your first real meeting?
Yes, this is my first one.
That's what I thought. Now Lori doesn't know this, but she has been verified.
I have it.
And she will become official on the 5th of next month when they actually do the stamp of what number you're
Oh,
in.
okay.
So you're still pending for a little bit, but kind of not. Congratulations. And then we also have Shanna, who at the last time we had a meeting was in the same situation that Lori was in. She had been verified but not numbered, and she is now officially numbered, girls. So
Also, I handed out one of these to everybody, and this is just about the membership committee. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I encourage all of you to check it out, embrace it. Let me know if you have any questions. We'd love to have you at any of these events or activities we've got going on. One that I'm looking forward to with Mary is we're gonna be dressed in period attire on December 11th at Boondock Farms, and just be talking about the DAR with anybody that comes by. They're gonna be having a live band out there, so come on out and enjoy the time.
Where is that farm?
It's in Jackson, South Carolina.
In Jackson?
Jackson, yeah, it used to be a golf course.
I think you had that, I'm sorry, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll send out some notice with some directions and stuff.
Okay, Mary, it's your turn.
Okay, I got a lot of stuff. I'll try to keep it brief. The conservation minute is, for November, I chose leaves, because we're all trying to clean up our yard and make it look good. And are there other options we can take besides disposing of them? Because not everything has to be green. We can make some brown spaces for wildlife, such as caterpillars and salamanders, box turtles, and snakes like leaves. So you can they can benefit from them. There are friendly snakes. You can also use leaves for mulch around plants to put nutrients back in the soil and to protect the plants over winter. And then you can also, if you do composting, you can use the leaves for compost in your garden spaces. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. American history, we have 2 Women in History nominations that have been submitted, and that program is gonna highlight those women next month. So I'm not gonna go through all the details in this meeting on them, and we'll discuss that next month. On historic preservation, I'm gonna put some articles in the Trenton Times newsletter about some of the things we've done here in the last month. We had the dinner, so we didn't really cover some of the things we did in October. But in October, we supported a CAR event that was down at Silver Bluff Audubon Center that was the site of the Fort Gulfin. It was an Indian trade outpost. And they are gonna put a historic marker to show that fort location. They have that location and another place called Rugley's Mill that they're looking at to do markers this upcoming year. They're submitting paperwork and trying to get all their permits and stuff to do those markers. But that was an education process for some of us that attended, and for the CAR. The archaeologist was there and she showed us some of the artifacts they had found in that location where they've excavated to find some of the corners of the outpost that was there, and dishes, pieces of dishes and things that they found. So it's pretty interesting. We submitted one Patriot grave marker application and it's been approved. And it's for Clay's Patriot that is in Barnwell, South Carolina. So we will be proceeding with ordering a marker and setting up a program and a dedication for that sometime in the spring. We're working on one more application that needs the landowner approval, and that's up in Edgefield, the Benjamin Hatcher marker, which is a Patriot of about half of the founding members that are on that charter, as well as it's the Patriot of the region of the 96th district, which is Kelly Swartz. So we're gonna be partnering with them to do that marker. This last Friday, we visited the Beach Island Historical Society History Center and learned about another fort that was along the river, a trading post, Fort Moore, and some of that area that was settled by the Swiss, called New Windsor. And it was real interesting. So if anybody, they're open different times of the week. If anybody ever wants to go down there, it's pretty interesting to learn about the area that we kind of drive through it on occasion and not really realize what's happened in that area. So I don't want to tell the whole story because it would ruin everything about it, but it's very interesting. If anybody wants to go back there or go down there and look, visit that place, I'd be glad to contact the people that are running it and go back, because they're very enthusiastic about all the history there, and openly share all the information. We do have upcoming events that we want to try to support. One of them is North Augusta Christmas Tour of Homes is coming up on December 3rd and 4th. On this tour is going to be the Charles Hammond House that's located on Martintown Road that is being restored. So that could be interesting. Next to the house is a cemetery. It has 10 veterans in it.
Wow.
It's the Hammond Family Cemetery. 5 of those are patriots. One of them is descendant is in the Martintown Road chapter. So this is a good thing to, if you're interested, to get tickets for. They're selling advance tickets at Plum Pudding in Aiken and then several locations in North Augusta. Then Susan mentioned the Boondock Farm event, and then another thing we like to support is Wreaths Across America. If anybody wants a brochure for that, it's December 18th. The main service is gonna be at the Sunset Gardens Cemetery. That one's at, is it at noon or 1 o'clock? I'm trying to remember. Noon, okay. And then I think it goes 2 o'clock for Pine View, which several people in the area have relatives or friends in Pine View Cemetery. And then from there at 3 o'clock, there'll be a small service at the Hammond Family Cemetery. So if anybody wants to attend that or get more information about it, or you can go on the website, it's a good thing to attend. The book. We have books for sale after the meeting, so if anybody's interested, we're getting positive reviews from the book, from different places. We've submitted those applications to put books in the NSDAR library and the SCDAR library. And Lori was kind enough to volunteer to help mail out flyers to members that haven't been attending meetings and may not be aware of the book. So we've done a mail out so that they can contact Clay if they're interested in purchasing a book. And then we are planning to go to some libraries and museums and set up some agreements to sell the book or display the book. And so far we've sold 27 and counting. Hopefully some more sell today. And I'll do an updated calendar on some of these events that are coming up. We got things coming up for next year, cemetery tour at Red Cliff, if anyone's interested, cemetery cleanup with the Beach Island people. The Beach Island Historical Society also has a tour of homes that's in April. And then the marker dedication for Clay's Patriot, and that'll be in Barnwell. So we've got a lot of exciting things coming up for 2022.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't pass this on. This is the sunshine.
I had an agenda and I didn't follow it. I apologize. I discovered that.
I thought you did good.
I just wanted to say a few things about the celebration we had, and it really was a celebration, our 110th anniversary. Quite an accomplishment for the chapter, I would say. And I think most of you were here. I see, were there at the party. A lot of you were at the party, and it was, to me, it was a very big success. And I wanted just to notice some things that happened there. It was really wonderful having not only Trenton members, but members from other chapters. And then we also had our South Carolina Region with us, Moneybell Moffitt, and she gave the keynote address. In addition, we had 3 men who were special at our chapters too, at our party. Mayor Rick Osmond, Ted Walker, he's president of Henry Lawrence chapter of Sons of the American Revolution, and then Reverend Douglas Herlong from St. John's Methodist Church. Some of you may not know that the church has offered this building or this room for us, and we really appreciate that. And then we had Suzanne Derrick, whose 4th great-grandfather was our patriot, not my patriot, but her patriot, Drury Mims. Drury Mims was a patriot for a lot of people in the Edgefield area. Newberry Hall did a great job. I think it was a really good response from them, and they just really helped us out a lot with everything that was going on. The table decorations were beautiful. Social time, I thought that was a very good thing that we added, because we were able to view, a lot of the videos from the past. Other things that made this, celebration memorable, the beautiful programs, the unveiling of our charter, Evelyn's recognition of 50 years belonging to the Trim chapter, beautifully designed posters that were there for people to look at what we have been doing, and last but not least, the introduction of our Trenton history book. All these things really made for such a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I know for one, I will never forget that. It was well done. It just carried out so beautifully, and anybody who missed it, missed a lot. Okay, Linda, would you give the introduction to our visitor?